Hello, my sexy souls. How are you all doing? This is Water Women Sacred Huddle. We are going to be doing a little bit of coffee and tarot. Grab whatever you like. Coffee, tea, lemon water, whatever it is. Let's sit down, cozy up, and try and figure out what the energies for today are. If there's a message in this for you. Alrighty, let's see here. Oh, Lord have mercy. Just so that you know how my morning started, it was lovely. I had beautiful coffee, got it really good and hot because after I put the creamer in it, I like to heat it up just a little bit more because sometimes the creamer, when you like creamer more than you do the coffee, apparently, you put a shiza ton of creamer in it and it'll cool it down just a little bit. So I heated it up and I'm turning away from the microwave and I'm walking and I don't know, as if something hit it from underneath because my hand went up in the air with the cup and the coffee sloshed out. I have no clue what happened, but really hot coffee went all over me and all over the floor. So let's hope you're having a more beautiful day than mine started out as. Just a reminder that energy is fluid and that this is a general message. So only take what resonates. Please don't try to Cinderella anything and make it fit. Okay, let's see what we've got going. Ooh, okay. All right, let me get it. And I have children getting ready for school this morning. So we'll just see if I get to squeeze this in without being interrupted. This is an adventure. This is the Starman Tarot, just so that you're aware. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. All right. Remember, I've got teeny tiny hands. This is a humongous deck, so we don't make fun of me and how I do. All right, we're going to take the Eight of Pentacles here and get all the cards out first and foremost. All right. Something you've been focusing on, that you've been working towards. Energy's not so scattered anymore. We're going to take a look at this. Okay, as you all know, if you watch any of my readings, I don't necessarily do, what are we going to say, like spreads per se, but I do have certain little patterns. Let's just put it that way, okay? And I just realized I don't have my ring. Well, let me grab my ring. I don't do shit without my ring. Okay. All right. So the center energy, because we have an even number of cards on each side, is the Ten of Cups. This is what you're working towards. This is not just personal self-fulfillment, being able to extend it to others beyond yourself. So this could be like a situation where you're a parent and what your goal is really will benefit more than just yourself and will include more than just yourself. So you're working towards a goal or you have some type of enjoyment and fulfillment that because you get to experience, others will as well, inevitably. And so you're really focused on a particular goal in order to be able to bring that about, right? But on the other side, there's this determination. We've got the Eight of Cups. You have to determine what to release and what to focus on, right? And it's funny, we got two eights. So that's got to be significant in some respects for some people. So again, the two things that are impacting getting to this goal of yours is knowing what to release and what not to, what is for you and what isn't, so that you're not spreading your energies thin, okay? And that might be a little bit difficult because some of the things that you walk away from, you were so completely sure that would actually be beneficial for you and something that you really enjoyed. But in retrospect, in looking at this, you have determined that there's just some things you can't put your energy towards at this point in time in order so that you can get this. Okay. So you're letting go of some things. And that's not to say that at some point in your life that they won't be for you. They won't be a part of your 9 of Cups. Because remember, we walk away from the things that we've learned aren't for us in order to walk towards the things that are for us, right? The 8 of Cups to the 9 of Cups. True, genuine self-fulfillment, all right? And so as you walk away, this could pop up again at a later point where you're like, okay. And I feel like there might be something where, I don't know why this is coming up exactly like this is for somebody out there, but maybe, yeah. Let me give you an example. I don't know why they're giving this to me, but like, let's say you want to move to a particular place. And at this point in time, it's not feasible. Let's say you have to move somewhere closer and you were hoping to move out of state or to another country or to whatever, right? We got a pandemic and all kinds of crazy shit going on. Things inevitably will impact this. And so it's not to say necessarily, I don't usually get this because with the 8 of Cups, you know for a fact, usually none of that shit's for you, because usually you were going after things that other people taught you would be what you wanted. And so this almost feels like you may not be able to get to where you want to go just yet, but it's not that it's not for you. It's just in this moment, that's not what you can focus your energies on. And so you have to release that so that you can focus where you need to. Okay. So there's some things that you're just going to have to put on the back burner is what I want to say. All right. And that's perfectly okay, because the goal is still this 10 of Cups here, right? It's not just about you. Take a look at it in this particular card. You've got a parent set, and then you have a child, and you have the animals. So it's not just about you in this moment. There's other factors that are at play. Let's see what else they have to say. And that's got you stalling a little bit. Okay, we've got the 8 of Swords. You're feeling really trapped by this, because I want to say that there's a level of confusion where, how do you let go of something that you know is actually still for you? And it's really more or less releasing this illusion that somehow you're abandoning that goal or that you're abandoning that dream, because you're really not. You're not technically walking away from it. You're just putting it on the back burner. Okay. And so I feel like there's a sense of entrapment that you're building up around in your mind with all these swirling thoughts where you just feel like now, like you shouldn't make a move, because how do you, again, generally speaking, you only walk away from something that's not for you. And in this, I want to say it's all about the divine timing of this. And I know we hate hearing that sometimes. And divine timing is basically just being in alignment with something. And because of certain factors within your life, and also probably divine order, okay, where I have to work towards this particular goal, I have to achieve this before this can come into play, right? There's a maneuvering that has to occur, like a domino effect, okay? You take out one of those dominoes and the chain just stops, right? It's not going to keep clicking forward. I don't know, for those who are in a different country, the dominoes is a little game where you have these little squares that stand up, and you tip one and they go like this, right? You take one of those out, and then a chain of blocks just stops instead of progressing, right, and continuing forward to the end. And so that's what this is. This is like you just feeling like, well, now I just don't want to make any moves because this is not what I want. This is not what I want. I don't want to walk away from this. This is not, and they want you to get a different type of perspective, okay? And so I love this 2 of Swords because it's not like any of the others. You all know that when I discuss the 2 of Swords, it's more about trying to find the truth of the situation, right? And, when the 2 swords kind of butt ends, sometimes swords cross on a card, and sometimes the woman holds them to the 2 butt ends. The 2 butt ends is 2 truths, and you have to choose between one of those, right? And then, of course, when they cross, it's like usually somewhere the truth is somewhere in the middle. And that's what you're trying to figure out. That's how you're going to make your mental decision. But you are mentally torn here because they are both absolutely true. Yes, I need to focus here and work on this in order to continue forward towards this. See, you're afraid that something's going to extinguish, that your flame is going to extinguish on this. Your passions for it will extinguish. And I want to say whatever you feel like you're focusing on isn't where your passions really are heavy. It's just something that is necessary and a part of the path forward, right? And so you're like, how do I choose? How do I decide? That's why you're entrapped a little bit, because these two truths are absolutely 110% for me. Like there's no, like this person is so much so sold on the fact that both of those are true that she's being torn into and pulled apart. She refuses to let go. And she's wide awake. Her eyes are not, she's not blindfolded. She's like, no, I already know both of these are true. So how do I do this? And it's got you feeling very, very stuck. Like almost as if your higher self is saying, no, I'm meant to do something over here. But your human is like, okay, but we've got to focus on this for right now. Because if we don't focus on this, and I want to say the Eight of Pentacles feels very base chakra, root chakra, like sense of security and the day-to-day necessities of life in order to be able to continue forward. And so it's almost like maybe this is like, a project that you want to work on a creative project or a side hustle or, whatever that is. And you're like, but until then I have to do this to help me get by. Right. And you're like, but for a fact, and you keep getting this, it's like a tap on your shoulder type of knowing where this never really leaves. It never really, that feeling of this is what I'm meant to be doing. And so it can feel very like, how do I choose? How do I choose how to move forward, Spirit? How do I choose higher self, future self, whatever you want to call it? How do I choose my next steps and exactly what to focus on? Because there are some things that are dividing me right now where both of these are an absolute necessity. Like I can't just completely abandon this other thing. Let's see. Let's get some advice on this, because I feel like you feel so strongly pulled towards not walking away from it. How do you handle the both of them? How do you do both of these things at one time? When there's this very, like, that your energy has to be pulled over here to focus on something. Use new era elements. Let's see what's going on here. And then we'll use Messenger Oracle. Yeah, nagging is what it feels like. This nagging tap on the shoulder, like, no. So again, we got the Hangman. It's about getting a new perspective, maybe taking a quick pause to really allow yourself to gain that perspective from where I'm putting it over here, because whatever you're focusing on is really taking up a lot of your focus. And you're trying you know that you have to put some things down, but there's something that you feel like you're being told or that you're going to have to put down because you need to focus over here. But yet for a fact you're really not supposed to. It's got you all up in your head and it's making you feel very quite trapped on knowing what your exact next move is, and solidly focusing over here. And I want to say that you have been having to focus over here. And there's a draw inside of you that says, but it's time for me to abandon focusing on this over here. So if you've been focusing on something that's really, really about your sense of security, stability, the basic necessities of life, or, even if this is like, I've not really been able to put much time into my project because there's been a lot of things going on with family. For example, here recently, my little one just started kindergarten, and for crying out loud, he's only been 2 days because there's people, not him, but people around him that have tested positive for COVID. So now he cannot be in the classroom. And it's like, for crying out loud, Spirit, I'm trying to focus on the things that I need to, but I can't. I can't work as a parent. I can't put the time and energy into things that I know I'm meant to. I'm having to put it on the back burner, but I have a big nagging, oh, good Lord, this is resonating for me. What the fuck? All right. All righty. Apparently there's a lot of people with this pandemic. Of course, there's a lot of people in this freaking scenario. So whatever time you've got left over, you really have to focus on some type of necessity in life. And they're asking you to be strong. Take a deep breath, step back just a little bit. You're feeling very on edge the Nine of Wands is, Seven of Wands is doing what positioning yourself and being very solid and knowing what you need to do, right? You're victorious in finding the motivation and the drive and your passion and focusing on that and moving forward with it. You know your worth. You set your boundaries. Period. Here, you know what your boundaries are. You've set them. Nine of Wands is really about having to be that staunch, very sovereign, like the only person responsible for your movement forward and making the progress is you. So you really have to be in charge of your energy with the Nine of Wands. And it's a bit like the Strength card as well. And then we have the Page of Air, or the Daughter of Air, which is the Page of Swords. That feels a lot like some kind of information coming in. Let's take a look at this. Feels like there's some kind of information that's kind of come in that's actually going to give you the ability to relax a little bit. Some kind of path information that's going to come forward. Give me just a second. We got the Four of Swords. So some kind of information is going to come in that's going to allow you to relax a little bit. And Four of Swords, right with the Hangman is pulling yourself back to really gain that different perspective. But the Four of Swords is really trying to pull you back out of, which is on top of the Eight of Swords, right? It's like, okay, some information, some truth, some type of new path, because swords are also about a path. But something's coming in that's allowing you to step back, have a little less anxiety, have a little less stress, feeling a little more capable, a little more grounded. And so they're asking you to utilize that. It's giving you, because we got the Hierophant, it gives you the ability to actually kind of bring a little bit of structure to your life, which is what you've been trying to get over here. A bit sense of stability, a sense of groundedness. The Eight of Pentacles is really focusing on what's important, that root chakra type of thing. But it also feels like some type of assistance or intervention from something that's like some type of existing structure within your life. That's actually going to bring this in. But it really just gives you the liberty, is what I want to say. The freedom to kind of, Hierophant's always about setting your life up to reflect what is right for you, what is true for you, right? What is, I hear my child. We might get interrupted. But what is true for you? And in doing that, in being able to kind of have the extra time, because the Four of Swords is also about that vacation, it's about that reprieve. So something's going to come in to alleviate a lot of the stress where you're feeling torn between the two. It's going to give a bit of a reprieve, and time is what I want to say, to really build, to set things up where it's solid and stable in your life, where you can get this foundation that you've been working on, the Four of Wands. Okay. So even though you've been feeling torn in this and not like you have been able to make a move and feeling like you're having to decide between two different things that you know are absolutely 110% true, something's going to come in to help you really get a little bit of stress relief, and to do exactly what you've been trying to work on, where you're not I don't think you're going to have to abandon anything. You've had to probably up to this point, or maybe for just a teeny bit longer, put something on the back burner, but something comes in, some kind of information or a new start for you, a new path, that actually gives you this sense of like you can really balance back out, start really putting forth the effort to bring something to fruition. It's gonna bring a lot of sense of structure, organization, and not in because the Hierophant is a masculine energy, but not to the point where it cripples your flow and that you're not in touch with your feminine. But it brings the necessary. Sometimes when our life is so out of balance, when we have no routine and everything's chaotic and up in the air, there's no sense of security. This is all about your root chakra. This is feeling grounded in the moment and safe. So whatever this is made you feel that got you to where you were torn, made you feel unsafe. This brings in something that feels very safe, and you feel more secure. Like okay, now I can maneuver from here. Like I know what to do. I know how to do it. I know the moves to make. Four of Wands is also actionary, but it's a sense of, okay, I can build from this. Like this is good enough to keep me where I'm not feeling like I have to continue to put something on the back burner and only focus over here. And it actually clarifies how to move forward, which means you know even more now where to focus. But I do want to say that sense of being torn is going to be resolved for you. So whatever's coming in, this truth or this information, because this is a messenger card. Yeah. Something's going to come in that really just relaxes you. Fantastic. That's actually really good. All right. Well, hope you have a fantastic day. Hope this was beneficial and put your mind at rest. You all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.